everything he does, he's always have to have. Let's just have somebody have an interracial dynamic. I was like, okay, nigga, we get it. You in an interracial relation. We get it. Come on,
Yeah, it gets
man.
kind of after a while. It gets kind of boring, so to speak. After a while, unless you have something new to say about it, which
Like,
is, you know what I mean. Like you have to have a certain kind of element that's like fresh.
and most of the time, it's not really fresh. It's just like, oh, we're interracial. We raising mixed kids. That's the joke. Black people don't understand this. White people don't understand. It's like, haha. It was cute at first. But I was like, come on, nigga. All right.
Exactly.
Now a show like the Carmichael Show, that in my opinion had a very unfairly short run. That could have been something that was made back in like the '90s, maybe like early 2000s, just based on
Yeah.
like influence it had. Like it was like a Norman Lear slash Martin kind of show with a little bit of rock in it.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Like I said, I get why people don't like Blackish. Me personally, I love the show, but I feel like towards the latter run, it was like it ended at the right time. That's all I'm going to say. It ended at the right time.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't
I
like that.
agree.
Yeah, I didn't like that season when they almost had a divorce and some shit like that. Then by the end of the season, everything was happy dappy. I'm just like, what the fuck was that? Like y'all just went through all that shit for nothing. Like,
Unrealistic.
and don't get me wrong, it was there were some strong episodes, but at the same time, if I have to be entertained, I want to be entertained either comedically or drama, but not just I want a tone. I want the tone to be right.
Right.
Like like shows like Boy Meets World. Love Boy Meets World. But let's be real. Every other episode, somebody was getting beaten up. Somebody broke up with a relationship. Somebody was
Yeah.
yelling at one another and
Mm-hmm.
shit
Hmm.
like that. It was just like 1 minute we laughing at Sean and Corey doing some weird dance. Next minute, Corey cheated on Topanga with some girl in the ski lodge or some shit like that. And then, yeah,
It Topanga, she wasn't no saint either. She did some shit too. Like,
Exactly.
I'm
Yeah, you
sorry.
know
Like,
that
I don't care if you pretty and got big ass lips. You still you know you just as wrong. You just as in the wrong.
right.
honestly, I have nothing against Topanga. She's very pretty, but I feel like her beauty
Yeah.
was kind of overrated. I was more
Her
into
what?
Kelly Bundy.
Oh, Christina Applegate. Okay.
Yeah, fuck a Topanga. Give me a Kelly Bundy. I'm sorry.
Kelly
Yeah,
Bundy was
Christina.
fun though.
You said
Yeah.
what?
He was an airhead. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't want that.
I mean, I'm
Uh,
not saying like Danielle Fishel is ugly because she's very pretty, but Christina Applegate at that time, woo.
I always thought after Married with Children, Christina Applegate, I thought she went under the radar until like her career resurgence.
Right.
I, I hope she pulls through because she got MS right now too.
Yeah, that's so sad. I know.
But she can recover from that though.
Yeah.
Another beauty. Y'all might laugh at me. I always had a thing for Jessie from Saved by the Bell. I always thought she was way prettier than
She
Kelly.
gorgeous. Oh yeah.
Showgirls say
Elizabeth,
Showgirls
Elizabeth,
Elizabeth Berkley.
Yeah, the showgirls chick.
hell yeah,
Yeah.
hell.
At least finally somebody that's cute to Reggie. Like he usually go after the old bitches like Loretta Devine or you know Josephine Baker and shit.
Now, honestly, I always feel like Zach and Jesse had way more chemistry than Zach and Kelly. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You know what? I'm gonna have
I'm
to
sorry.
agree with you. I'm gonna have to
I don't know.
agree.
Zach and Kelly were cool, but Zach and Jesse, they had Jesse understood Zach's motives at times and shit. Like she was the only one that put Zach in his place when he wants to be.
Right.
And they were close friends since they were kids
Yeah.
too.
Meanwhile, meanwhile, Mark Paul was fucking Lark Furies behind the scenes and shit.
Was he really?
Yeah, they were dating. Well, he was dating all of them in real life.
He was with Lisa? Oh shit.
Yeah, he was with Lisa. Yeah,
Wow.
He was really
It,
Zach Morris in real life.
he
Shit.
was taking out all of them.
Pretty much.
That's crazy. Slater must feel like shit.
Nah, Slater was getting in some shit too,
Slater
allegedly.
was doing this thing. They were all
Yeah,
floating around, huh?
he had some biddies and shit.
They were all high school whores, huh?
Well, nobody was fucking screeching.
Nah, hell no.
No, poor
nobody,
Screech.
nobody. Poor Dustin.
You drove that man to kill himself. You wasn't getting no ass.
Wow.
Like you
Wow.
said.
Damn.
There's another. What's another show? Oh shit. You know what? Not a big fan like that, but Alyssa Milano towards the end of Who's the Boss was kind
Who's
of
the
fine.
boss? Yeah, she was gorgeous.
Not a big fan of Alyssa Milano,
She's still
but
gorgeous. She's still hot at her age. Well,
yeah.
I said Melissa Milano and Charmed.
hey, she was
Oh,
great in that too. And Shannon Doherty.
Oh yes.
honestly,
Shannon, yeah.
honestly, with Who's the Boss, I was mostly looking at Judith Light, low key. I ain't gonna hold you.
She good looking. She
You was
pretty
looking
good
at who?
looking too. Judith Light.
Some old ass bitch you just mentioned just now, yo.
Yeah,
Judith
the
Light,
girl
that's what you
that,
think? You
the girl
looking
that,
at Judith Light, the mother?
yeah.
Yeah, something wrong with Reg. I think he's been touched as a kid or something.
Shut
You
up,
know,
dude.
Judith Light. Wow.
I'm gonna go downstairs for one quick second, and I'm gonna come back up.
Yo,
Not to touch that kid. Chill out.
man. Yup. We gotta put some respect on this movie because people shitting this on this movie, and it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Like we could do a whole live stream about worst films that was worse than this.
Y'all, hey, in that case, y'all probably gonna hate me. What I'm gonna say.
What's that?
Yeah,
What you gonna say?
yeah. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna let y'all go.
Like,
Yeah,
I've seen what all those Master P films were bad. They were worse than this movie.
you said
Okay,
Master P.
I don't care what people got to say. Oh, Master P the legend, yeah, but he made shitty films. I Got the Hookup was not a classic film. That was garbage. All those other films he did that BT played, Soul Plane. It's so many that was worse than this film. I'm like, I don't understand how people shitting on Ice Cube right now.
So Plane was trash. What? You know what? So Plane. I'm gonna say this.
What you think?
It wasn't a West thing I've seen either.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I love Bruce Willis. I hope he gets well. But Hudson Hawk, yeah, that was trash. That was not a good film.
I forgot all about Hudson
Yeah,
Hawk.
Hudson Hawk. I remember when they were filming it here. My aunt was coming home from work that year that they were filming it, and they had like blocked off the like one of the bridges to do like one of those chase scenes. That movie was trash. There's no way in hell you go look at Hudson Hawk and then look at this film and be like, "Oh, Hudson Hawk was a great film."
What y'all talking about?
Hudson Hawk.
Yeah, that was
That
bad.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
I
Yeah,
don't even remember
it's not good.
watching it. To be
It's
honest
not
with
good.
you.
It was Bruce Willis and Danny Aiello and I forgot who else was in, it, but that was a shitty film. That was like a heist film.
All right, shit.
Yikes.
Well, I'm ready to start whenever y'all are.
Let's go.
Yes.
What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing this lovely Thursday night? It's your boy Reg in the building. I got my homeboy trying to build it with me. How you doing, Try?
What up?
I got my homeboy Mike in the building with me. How you doing, Mike?
Yo, I'm good.
Yeah, so this was pretty much like a last minute vid, but we're not gonna be too long with this shit right here. We're gonna talk about the recent Ice Cube movie, War of the Worlds. This came out like last week. I want to say last week, Wednesday or Thursday. So a lot of people have been talking about this movie. Y'all should know who Ice Cube is. You know what I'm saying? So dope rapper, dope actor, businessman. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Um, talks about a few Ice Cube movies here and there and shit like that too. This movie was directed by Rich Lee, and it's pretty much based on a novel called War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells and everything like that too. Yeah, H.G. Wells, he pretty much did a lot of science fiction stuff like War in the Air, The Time Machine, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? This movie also stars Eva Longoria, Clark Gregg, Iman Benson, Henry Hunter Hall, Devon Bostick, Michael O'Neill, and Andrea Savage and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I've never heard of the novel. I'm gonna tell you a story about this whole fucking movie. So I was sleeping one time, dead ass asleep, and I had Fire Stick. And sometimes Fire Stick they like to play certain trailers of shows, movies, when you don't touch a Fire Stick for like maybe like five some minutes or whatever. So imagine being woken up by Ice Cube just say, "Get out of there!" Get out! So I woke up and I thought I was dreaming for a minute. I'm like, what the fuck was that? So I literally just thought it was a fever dream because it was just like Ice Cube was dressed up like some old ass niggas. First of all, I'm gonna get into the makeup in a minute, but and so days later, I finally saw the trailer, and it was like some weird AI kind of shit, right?
Mm.
And all of a sudden, I died laughing for it. I kid you not, I died laughing for 10 minutes straight, just when he was just yelling like "Get!" And then I hit try up. I'm just like, yo, what the fuck is Ice Cube doing on this trailer? And me and Try were just bursting out laughing at this shit. So I gave the movie a shot. So that's pretty much my unofficial introduction to this movie. And it's crazy too because they said that they were working on this movie since COVID.
I didn't
And
even know.
you can definitely tell. You can definitely tell they did this like lockdown because I kid you not, all Ice Cube does in this movie is just say, "Get out of there," and just hack into people's shit. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Um, so the story pretty much is like Ice Cube. He plays like this surveillance and threat assassin expert named Will Radford and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And he's grieving the loss of his wife, and he's trying to raise his children, but his children don't really agree with a lot of his methods. Like his son Dave is like a conspiracist
Yeah,
and shit like that, and then his daughter Faith is like a researcher who's actually pregnant,
yeah.
and daughter didn't really tell him a lot about like the baby and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? And the boyfriend is named Mark. He's like some
He's an Amazon driver.
yeah Amazon driver, yeah.
Yeah.
So so Real works in the like NASA, and then not NASA but the Department of Homeland Security,
Yeah.
and his friend Eva Longoria, she plays like Dr. Sandra
She
Salas
worked
and
for
shit.
NASA. She's the one that
She
worked for
works
NASA.
for NASA. Yeah. So then, pretty much, there's like some weird aliens that's coming to disrupt the Earth and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? But it ends up being like some conspiracies or some shit like that too. So
Right.
Will has to pretty much work with his son because his son was like the main one that was trying to infiltrate that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
He was the hacker.
he was a hacker. Yeah.
He hacked the government as disruptor. That was the name he was going by.
Right. So okay. I'm gonna let y'all take the floor and talk about what y'all think about this movie. Because
Well, let me
I'm
tell
not.
you, for the whole week, I've been seeing different movie bloggers and different movie pages saying the same thing. This is the worst film ever. They putting it up on these stories. They're making videos and memes about it. This is not the worst film that I've ever seen. This is easily not the worst compared to what when me and Mike was talking about the different movies before. Like all the masterpiece films were worse than this. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Some of Bruce Willis films are worse than this. This Soul Plane was worse than this. This is not the worst movie ever. The thing about it is I didn't know they didn't promote this film at all because I didn't even know they were doing another. I'm assuming this is a reboot or is this a sequel?
Reboot.
Okay, so this is the reboot because the original had Tom Cruise and was it Elle Fanning when she was a little
Yeah.
girl. That was a good
Yeah.
film. But even with that, I had issues with the way, like the design of the aliens or whatever. Then they had a TV series that came on streaming a while, like a long time ago. I think it had like maybe 3 seasons for it. I watched at least the first two, but it wasn't the same, and the cast was like a bunch of nobody. So you had that, and then there was a sequel that came on Sci-Fi, the Sci-Fi channel with Kid from Kid and Play,
Yeah.
and that was bad. So they've had sequels along the way after the OG, and it was just terrible, including this.
Somewhere,
Huh?
somewhere, H.G. Wells is just rolling in his grave right now.
Yes, exactly. And they did. This is the reboot. I didn't see no promotion for it. I didn't even know about it until I saw like a blogger. She posted about it, and she was saying it was boring and she fell asleep. I'm like, yo, let me check this out. I looked at the trailer on YouTube and I found it on streaming and watched it, and I thought it was decent. I think they have big names, A-list actors. Ava Longoria, everybody knows her from Desperate Housewives. She was married to Tony Parker from Spurs. You know, she's in this. Clark Gregg, he was on Agents of Shield and in the Avengers films. He's in this. And then you have Ice Cube. Ice Cube, you know, say what you want. He's had some good films. He's had some bad films. And he plays Will Radford, and he was like a computer tech nerd and working for the government. And Clark Gregg is like the director of the Homeland Security. And David is his son. His son is like I would say like what, like 18, 19. And he was a tech genius as well, and he was like a hacker, and he hacked into the government, and he hacked in like with the name like Disruptor. That was like his handle online, but nobody knew who he was because he was like in a hood or whatever. He had like a bunch of like other tech geeks that were like crowded in mystery, and they all like went by like different handles, and he was trying to warn his dad about the government had like a secret files called Goliath, and they were like in cahoots with the aliens and having the aliens come to Earth so that they can steal their data and go back home with it. And he was trying to warn Will about Goliath for years, and Will never paid attention to him. He said, "You're full of shit. You're young. You don't know nothing." Totally ignored him. Faith now is Will's daughter. She's pregnant. She's also a tech, genius or whatever, and she was working at the same company as Will?
No.
Okay, she was working at a company dealing with like tech stuff, and they're about to have a kid. And Will is like an overbearing parent. He's like worried about what she's eating. Are you getting enough rest? Are you drinking water? Her baby daddy Mark was working for Amazon. He's an Amazon driver delivering packages. He's kind of goofy, and he totally don't like Mark at all. You don't feel like Mark is like the right guy for her. But he was an overbearing parent, and you can tell this has been going on since the passing of Will's wife Erica, and he missed her so much. He missed her so much that on her old Facebook page, he followed her old Facebook page, and he would like write messages in her DM, but of course she wasn't responding because she's gone already. So he was really grieving, and I think all of that, like he ended up putting his grief on like his kids or whatever. And his daughter would tell him like you need to chill and be supportive for her first child coming. You're gonna be a grandfather, and he had Kim and the son didn't agree on a lot of things. So I think part of the reason why Dave became disruptor was to piss his dad off, so that his dad would finally listen to him, because he tried before and he just wasn't getting through to him. And then you have Sandra, Ava Longoria's character. She worked at NASA, and you could tell they were like friendly, but it wasn't like romantic friendly. And she was when the alien invasion happened, she was giving feeding Will all the stuff going on that NASA knew about or whatever. You know, so you have that, and all this is going on in like one day. You know, where you have like it starts off with Will's daughter Faith. She going to get some coffee, and mind you, Will was he had like a camera set up everywhere, so he knew everything that his kids were doing. He knew what time Faith went to bed, when she was taking a shower, when she was making out with Mark. Same with his kid. He knew everything that was going on with his kids because he had a camera set up everywhere that they were at.
I'm like,
You know,
nigga.
huh?
I'll be like, nigga, please.
Yeah, like he was totally for that. That was the part of the disagreement with him and his son, because his son was against the government spying on people's privacy, and Will was for that, and that's where they were clashing. I think that's part of the reason why Will's son became disruptor, because he was against the whole Privacy Act, and Will was for the government. He was anti privacy. He was like, no, we got to spy on these people 24 hours a day, and his son wasn't for that. You know, so what happened was they got Will had intercepted one of Disruptor's videos, because Disruptor, who's his son, was sending different messages virally, and he intercepted one, like a viral threat, that the aliens was gonna come invade the Earth, and they were gonna do damage to Earth or whatever. And when once the aliens hit, they were killing humans. They were going after. They didn't realize this until like later, that the aliens came to Earth for a reason. It wasn't just to kill humans, but they were going to all the government centers around the world, and they were stealing government data from the database, so that they can use to advance their population and technology and all that. So what the aliens did was, when they came to Earth and they were killing the humans, they had disabled all military jets and tanks and vehicles, weapons. So it was like a bio warfare, and the soldiers, they had to like really fight the aliens like old school style, like a gun, and they had to like use their foot. They couldn't have no. All the jets were falling out of the sky, planes were falling out of the sky. It was complete melee. The whole world was in chaos. The thing that I didn't understand was, if the aliens were doing all of this, how were they able to still have the internet? Because when the aliens were landing and the asteroids were like coming down on Earth, the asteroids were destroying the satellites in the space. So how did they still have internet to communicate with each other? You know what I'm
That's a
saying?
good question.
That part was
Yeah.
kind of suspect, because I'm like, in real life, if that was an alien invasion, we would have no cell phones that be working. We would have no internet. You know what I'm saying? So that part I didn't understand. I'm like, well, they destroyed everything else on Earth to make sure that especially for the military, that they were crippled. Why didn't they destroy the internet? I mean, I guess they kept it up because they needed the data from the government centers to take back with them. Maybe that's the only reason why they kept it up. But
That's the
other
only
than
thing I
that,
could
it
think
was
of.
like, huh?
That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah, that's the only
Too.
that's the only thing I could see why they didn't destroy the internet satellites, because they actually needed the data from the government database. But other than that, it's like, normally, if that was like a real alien invasion, there would be no internet. You know what I'm saying? So they did that. Will was there was a time when when everything was going wrong, and Will was like, you know what? Let me hear what you got to say. So he's talking to his son. His son is telling him like, look, I'm gonna send you a file. His son sends him a file of like the government secret data and the stuff they kept away from the public, that it's been going on since 1938. So they had this whole case file called Goliath, that they knew about the aliens that wanted to come here, and they were working with the aliens, but they didn't tell the public, and they kept it a secret. But he somehow his son was able to get the files and send it to him. So he's reading all of this stuff and seeing the pictures and everything, and they had to come up with a plan. Everything that they tried to do, mind you, like when he was talking to his daughter was outside when the aliens hit. So when they landed, his daughter's outside. She getting like a cup of coffee, and she can't run because she's pregnant. So she got injured. She ended up getting like some like a glass or like some shrapnel in like her leg or whatever, and she was bleeding out. So he had to call Mark, who was like on a route like delivering packages for Amazon. He had to call Mark and be like, "Yo, like Mark, I want you to step up as her husband and baby daddy, and go look after my daughter." And Mark did his thing. He didn't trust Mark out. It took time for him to warm up to Mark or whatever. But Mark proved himself during this time, and he stepped up, and he went to help Faith out. And that was another thing. Like, Will didn't trust nobody. So he didn't trust his daughter, he didn't trust his son, he didn't trust Mark. He wanted to do everything on his own and hold down his family on his own without putting any trust in them. And that's why they were beefing also. And it was good product placement in this film. It was, they had the YouTube, when everything was set up. And we've seen movies like this before, Mike, where the format was like the social media format, where the whole movie and the storyline takes place online. So you're seeing them go to like Google and searching for things on Wikipedia and YouTube and using Windows. And it was good product placement for those companies. Even Amazon. There's a part in the film where um like they use a drone to like toward the end of the film, like the son uses a drone to make a rabbit virus that kills supposed to infect the aliens and kill them. And they used a drone to get the virus into the aliens. But when they used the drone, like the drone flipped upside down and it hit the ground. So what they did was there was like a homeless person that was near the drone, and they had to bribe him with like a $1,000 Amazon gift card so that he can flip the drone over so that they can fly it again. So it was good product placement for Amazon and for YouTube and those other social media platforms and companies. And you know I the thing about when you do an alien invasion film like this, I don't think the format fit the film as in terms of like having Will just stay at his desk for like half of the film, and then he's communicating with everybody through the computer, and then trying to um uh uh alert the media about what the government knew about these aliens coming to Earth or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that like we like movies like Unfriended and Searching and Missing, like it worked for those films. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But for an alien invasion,
Searching,
in
searching.
a real alien invasion film, you're not going to be at your computer. You're going to be gone. You're going to be hauling
You go
ass out of wherever you at because they're coming to destroy Earth. You're not going to be at a computer. You know what I'm saying? So that format, yeah, you know what I'm saying? That format, and that's
yeah.
it only I can see why they did it. Like if they were doing this during the pandemic, then that's why they had to do it like that. But in any other case, you're not going to do an alien invasion from where the main character is sitting at his desk in front of a computer the whole movie. That don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? And
You're
he
right.
can't do shit because when he tried to get out, the government shut down the facility. So he was trying to get out and they locked the door. So he was confined to his room with the computer, and then he's trying to communicate with everybody that he care about, and making sure that oh, I gotta do something because if I don't, my daughter gonna bleed out and she gonna lose her baby, and then and trying to trying to make sure that his son is not online, going at the government and all that. So he had a lot to deal with just on the computer. You know what I'm saying? And then somehow, towards the end of the film, the last 15, 20 minutes, he was able to get out and then actually be actually be in the field and helping his loved ones escape, the alien invasion and all that. You know what I'm saying? But normally when you make a film like this, you're not gonna be at a computer for the whole film. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel like the social media format that they did, it don't work for this film. But I see why they did it if they had to do it during the pandemic. It made sense because I'm watching the film. I'm like, why the hell is this nigga for half of the film at a computer and you got an alien invasion outside? You know what I'm saying? Because in real life, we're not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? But within the because of the what we was going through a couple years ago. That's I guess that's why they did it, and it made sense in that aspect. I thought the acting was decent. I thought Ice Cube was decent in the film. I thought Ava Longoria wasn't in the whole movie. She was in different parts, but she wasn't like in the whole entire film. Clark Gregg had his scenes as well. He was good. He was more like the villain and more like being that he was the director of Homeland Security. He was totally for the aliens coming here and stealing the government's data and then going back home with it. So he had to. So Will had to stop. He had to stop his character from doing that. The daughter that played Amon Benson that played Faith, Will's daughter, she was good in it. The guy that played Mark, he was okay. Son was decent. I thought it was a decent film. I don't think, like I said, I don't think it's the worst film ever. Like a lot of these blogs and podcasts
They
are
just,
coming out and running with that narrative. It's not the worst film ever. And
they just want to Spears dick, man.
they just want to shit on Ice Cube, and I don't understand why though. Like that's especially if you black and you seeing one of your own trying to do something good. Like why are you shitting on your own people? You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't make sense to me. But it's I think it was a decent reboot. You know, I would have loved to have them to have them like reference back to like the original film with Tom Cruise and what happened with that. Another thing I didn't like was the aliens look totally different. Like in the original one, I didn't really like the design of them in the original, but they 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 acted and moved more like aliens. In this one, the aliens moved more like robots. They were more robotic. It reminded me of like Mike. If you ever saw the Battle of Los Angeles, it reminded me like those aliens in that film.
Yeah, yeah,
They were like more robotic
yeah,
and they didn't really move like aliens. That was a film
right.
that came out like 10 years ago. With, I think Rihanna was in that and some other people. That was an alien invasion film as well. But this one they didn't move like aliens. It was more like they were like robotic aliens, but they didn't look like aliens. They didn't move like aliens. It was more like robots. Um, but other than that, I thought the CGI effects were decent. I thought the acting was decent. You know, on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 7. I think it was watchable. I mean, if you remember Water Worlds and Water Worlds, like the film with Tom Cruise, that's another remake because they had the original like back in the 50s or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And yeah, and then like the Tom Cruise reboot that made like a bunch of money and but I like this one. I thought it was a decent film. I just feel like the company should have promoted Universal Pictures. Actually, that's Universal Pictures film. They should have promoted this. I don't understand how you have a major movie company like Universal that's not promoting a film that everybody's shitting on. You know what I'm saying? So they got to do better promoting their films and I liked it.
Okay.
was it my turn?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I gave this movie 5 minutes. Whether it's going to be one of the best movies or one of the worst movies, it's a good thing I didn't pay for. I watched this for free. I'm gonna be real with you. When I first saw the trailer, actually when I first saw the poster boy, it looked too low budget. You know what I mean? Like it just I'm like I don't think this maybe it's gonna be in theaters. I'm not sure, but then once I heard it was going to Amazon Prime, I'm like, okay. When I saw the trailer, I'm gonna be real. I did laugh. I laughed at that whole trailer, honestly. So I I think I woke up. I woke up. It was. I think I woke up in the morning or something like that. I went to YouTube and I saw it. I'm like, okay, this. Okay, Ice Cube. Okay, about time this movie's gonna come out. I laughed that whole minute and a half. That whole trailer. Um.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. And I already knew what I was getting into. I already knew. So when I watched this movie, I gave it 5 minutes, and I knew what I was getting into. Like almost all of it to me was kind of predictable to me. Um, it like I wanted to see more of the aliens. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to see more action. You know,
Right.
I felt like to my liking, it wasn't enough action in this movie at all.
Right.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like
Right.
it should have been like it was an hour and 30 minutes. It should have been a little bit longer than that if you add on more action to it.
Right.
And um, you know, I'm looking scrolling on comments and they say this is like one of the worst films ever and it got 3.3 on IMDb. I'm like, well, I mean, and I'm gonna be real, I've seen worse. I've seen far worse movies than this. You know what I'm saying? Like it is I can't say it's not the worst movie, but it's one of those movies, it's so bad that it's laughable. And if I'm having a bad day, I will go watch this movie again. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those. Like
Right.
it like I don't know, I guess the story of it and then the fact that Ice Cube was just sitting on his ass for an hour and 15 minutes.
Right.
I didn't buy it. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't buy his whole character. I didn't really I don't know. I didn't really I didn't buy it. I mean, it like he now could I say this is Ice Cube's worst performance? I mean, Anaconda that was his one of his worst performances.
You think so?
I yeah yeah one of them, but um was this his worst? Yeah. It if I had to do a top maybe top five Ice Cube West performance. This one, you know what? It's I I I might have to put it up there because I don't know, like he was just and I'm not really shitting on him or anything like that. And it's not his fault. It's just the whole movie was just lacking. It was just lacking of almost everything. You know what I mean? Like the supporting characters was. I mean, even Longoria, she was all right, I guess, for give what she was given. I mean, she did more stuff than Ice Cube did. Clark Gregg, he was all right.
Right.
The daughter was fair. The son who was Junior from
Hey,
Waist Deep.
okay.
That he his acting improved. I will say that, but um, what was missing honestly was the action. Like I wanted more action. Like I wanted more like I guess emotional in depth
Right.
with Ice Cube and his wife and stuff like that. Like we didn't really get that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wanted more of that. So if you were to add that amongst with more action, more menacing, then you will get yourself a much better movie. But it's not the worst movie. I will watch it again if I'm bored or if I need a laugh. It's just one of those. It's so bad, it's laughable type of movies, and it don't really it don't really deserve like the shit that it's getting like that, honestly. But in my honest opinion, I say like yeah, this is not exactly Ice Cube's finest hour. Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but
The thing,
go
what
ahead.
I do agree that they needed more action, and I felt like if his character was actually outside helping his family get away from the
Yeah,
aliens and coming up like with the same plan that they had to create the virus that was going to take down the aliens, I think it'll been it's a lot different when he's
I would,
actually there with them compared to
yeah,
like when you're just talking to them like through a computer screen. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So like when you're talking to like when he's talking to his daughter and his son about missing their mother, it don't hit the same because you're talking to them through a device. You're not actually face to face with them. And I think that's the
exactly,
part I was missing. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. I
That's why I
agree.
said like for an alien invasion film, that format where he was just going on Wikipedia and Google and all that, it don't work for this film.
Now, I will say this: if they filmed it during COVID, I would give that a pass. But if they stopped production and then they continued it after the fact, uh,
Yeah,
it don't really work. It
That's
won't
why.
it don't work.
right.
That's why emotionally, I cannot even get with the movie because it's just like if it was face to face, then
Right.
yeah. But nigga, you
Yeah.
talking to a fucking computer. Like
It's,
COVID just fucked a lot of shit. I feel
it's,
like
It
Ice
did.
Cube even forgot. I feel like Ice Cube even forgot he did this movie and shit low.
I agree because he forgot he was acting. Like I was just
I ain't hear
like
shit about this. I ain't hear shit about this movie. All of a sudden,
yeah, it
boom,
came out of
it
nowhere.
just came out of nowhere.
Right. But
well,
if that's the case, why even release the film then? They could have kept that in the vault.
exactly. And what's funny is that I always go on IMDb. I knew that this movie was. I knew he was going to be doing this movie, but then at the same time, this been shelved for about a couple of
Mhm.
years. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, when is it coming out? I
It-
just felt like they put it out too fast. This was made
that
too fast.
that's why Universal didn't promote it because it was probably sitting there on the shelf for since the pandemic. They're like, yo, let's just release it to the streaming. It didn't come out in the
Exactly.
theaters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you would think it's Universal Pictures. They've had classic films for their company. Why not? Why are you not promoting this film? Because you're basically throwing it out there, and then all these bloggers is shitting on the movie now.
Classic examples like classic movies like Play Misty for Me.
Exactly, exactly.
I
We were
love
just talking about the Clint Eastwood movies. You know what I'm saying?
thank
And
thank you for recommending me that movie too, Mike.
right,
Oh,
you know what I mean?
you
And
saw
I
it?
and I and I'm like, yo, like they had enough time to go back and do reshoots. Like just erase the whole social media format of the film and start over where you actually put Will in outside with his family, escaping the aliens, and keeping the same story within. We're gonna create a virus to take them down. They could have kept that part, but the
Yeah.
whole like for the half of the movie, he's sitting in front of a computer and he don't know he can't do nothing because he locked down in the office. The door is he tried to open the door is locked, so he can't do nothing to save his family. If his family died right now, he'd be looking like an asshole. You know what I'm
And I
saying? So I'm like
yeah.
that part don't make sense. That part they should have just scrapped and then just do the reshoots where he's actually helping them outside of the office. You know what I'm saying? And helping his friend Sandra from NASA come up with a plan and letting the media know, like, yo, the government is behind this. They've been behind this since 1938. Because his son tried to warn him. He didn't want to listen to his son. That would have been a much better storyline and filmed instead of like what we got. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why people are shitting on it.
And we didn't get any references to any of the other movies,
Right.
really. And if if they reshot it with Ice Cube's outside running, menace,
Exactly.
all this stuff going on, uh, this would have been a way better movie.
You can those movies unless you're like a great actor or actress, those movies where you just confined to like one space, they're not always good.
It's not.
People get bored really fast because it's like it's no change of pace. It's like the same pace for the whole film until like the last 20 minutes when like they actually gotta create the virus to take down the aliens, and then oh well somehow he happened to get free and go outside. Like why didn't you all do that early in the film?
Thank
Now with
you.
I Am Legend, with Will Smith, I Am Legend,
Uh-huh.
that might be one of the few movies
Right,
will carry that movie.
right.
That might be one of my top three favorite Will Smith movies. I never really told, but I wish they would have used the alternate ending instead of the ending that we got.
Yeah,
In my opinion,
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You know. I just feel like we were already like if they're gonna do an alien film, you got to do it differently than all the other ones. It's like you want to know why there's never been a great shark film since Jaws because they all do the same damn thing. Nobody can beat Jaws. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with Exorcist. They do all these possession films. It's the same shit, the same storyline, the same type of cast and characters. Nobody can beat the Exorcist. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you got to come up with something different. I don't feel like this was the way to do a alien invasion film and just have the main character confined to a locked room, and while his family is out and they could possibly be dying because it don't work for an alien invasion film.
No.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so I definitely kind of agree with what you all have said about the movie. Now, I never really thought it was as bad as people make it out to be. I feel like it was underwhelming.
Mhm.
Uh, I felt like it was funny unintentional. It was one of those unintentionally funny movies because I felt like even with the worst, Q kind of did carry this movie in a way, but all
Yeah,
he did was say, "Get out of there, get out of there!" Like it was just like it was. Oh, I don't
we
know. It was just funny as hell.
we
But it was
needed,
just
and
like,
I also agree with Mike. Like we needed more more alien scenes. We didn't get that. Like in the one with Tom Cruise, we got all of that. But like they even had kidnapped their characters in the film. You know what I'm saying? We didn't get that in this one. And I've seen films like even like with Battleship. Remember Battleship? That
yeah,
that movie was like with aliens, and we didn't get none. Like when they do these alien films, you gotta not just get the point of view from the main characters, but from the aliens as well. And they didn't do that with this one.
nah, it was just well, let's just throw some shit together. Let's stick to the wall or some shit. But yeah, man,
I like I
I'll
like
probably.
Dangerous Ground. Dangerous Ground was a good film too. That's one of his most underrated ones to me.
I never seen the movie, but the soundtrack is fire.
Yeah, soundtrack is fire. It
That
was
song
good.
he did with
I need to
Be
re-
Real and
Yeah,
ooh,
I need to
he had
rewatch Dangerous Ground.
the track that Dilla did. That was not him. Keith
nah,
Murray. Keith Murray. That song that Keith Murray did for Enigma. That's on that soundtrack too.
ooh. See
The
that
one that Dilla
soundtrack.
did.
Everybody was in their prime at that
Yeah,
soundtrack.
yeah.
That's shit. Anaconda. That was the movie where he was like in a river or the ocean or
Yeah,
some
with
shit
the
like
with
that.
the snake.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the CGI wasn't good. They're supposed to
J
be
Lo
doing
was in that movie.
they're doing a reboot for that too.
Oh
Why can't
God.
they just leave these damn movies alone?
With with
Uh,
with who?
Why can't they just let
Anaconda.
this go?
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing and that those sequels are bad too. All the sequels they made for that was shit.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
Uh,
Why can't they just let this go?
yeah.
And
They don't know.
they doing a remake of the Running Man too.
Yeah, the Running Man. Yeah,
Why?
Now,
yep.
now that looks good. That
That
looks
looks good.
good.
I like the OG one with Arnold. That was good. It wasn't one of my favorites from him, but I enjoyed it.
I need to rewatch it because when I first watched it, I thought it was trash.
Ro- Rogue
But
Trader
I
said Rogue Trader
shit.
said would have been better if he was yeah, like if he was forced to like work with Ava Longoria's character Sandra because she was working for NASA. Like if she was actually there with them, maybe it would have been different. But they all were like in different locations, and they couldn't get to one another because of the all the damage that the aliens did. So Sandra couldn't get to Will. Will couldn't get to Faith. He couldn't get to his son. You know, he couldn't get to none of them because of where he was at, and he was locked down. And everybody else was like either they were injured or they were just around so much debris that they couldn't get to one another. What do you think about the BT situation? I don't. I think it's good that they don't have them. They have no shows on BT dedicated to hip hop anyway. So why have a hip hop awards? It doesn't make sense.
My opinion, I feel like they've been struggling really financially with a lot of these awards. Not just the
Hmm.
BET awards, like the VMAs. That's why that last BET Awards was so fucking good
Mhm.
because they knew this shit was happening. They were just waiting to the right moment. Because the Hip Hop Awards and the Soul Train Awards, they don't really get promoted like they used to get promoted back in it. Cause I remember when the Black Awards show came on, everybody watched that shit. BET
Right,
Awards, NAACP Awards, so especially Soul Train Awards back in the day too.
right, right.
We had the Lady Soul Train Awards
Yeah,
and
they
shit like
told them they added.
that. Y'all remember? I know back in the day, y'all motherfuckers remember like BET Walk of Fame. I know
Right.
y'all old enough to that.
Yeah.
But then over the years, it's just like when the music video format pretty much wasn't really as popular like that on cable television, a lot of motherfuckers did not even want to come to these Black Award shows. That's why I told them these motherfuckers this, when we did the BT Awards. It's crazy how these motherfuckers complaining about Black award shows, but yeah, we have to be grateful of what we got. Now that it's being
Yeah.
suspended indefinitely, now y'all want to cry and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, I used to say, "Oh, this I don't y'all." They don't really care for a lot of artists, but at the same time, most of those artists they won't get invited to Grammys and shit like that. Motherfuckers get one Grammy nominations. They're shucking and driving the Grammys, but then when they win all the BET awards, not winning the Grammy, they don't even want to come to the BET
Well,
awards and
they
shit.
they still kept the main award show on BT because that's the one that people actually tune in for. The hip hop awards they should have canceled a long time ago. Same with the Soul Train hasn't been relevant since the show. That show been gone for like what 25 years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So why it's like the VMAs? Like why is there still VMAs when MTV don't show videos no more?
Exactly.
Well, they still do the MTV jams and all that shit.
Yeah, but
MTV
that's
tour.
on streaming. Like unless you have those channels on like a live TV app, you're not going to be able to watch no video on it. Because the
They do
main
have
MTV channel is all Teen Mom, OG, and ridiculousness. They don't show videos on it.
yeah. That's why they dedicated all those other MTV channels and shit like that. That's why they threw on all the
Yeah,
videos and shit.
they put it on streaming. Yeah,
And then also too, you know what I'm saying, with the whole Soul Train Awards and shit like that, a lot of the R&B, like the neo soul, they will get mostly awarded there. Excuse me,
right,
mostly awarded there and shit like that too. Because back in the day, especially when Don Cornelius was still alive and running the Soul Train and shit like that, he made sure like it was like a variety of black music and
right,
stuff like that. I feel like the BT Awards they just put like the more popular acts. Soul Train Awards they put like the more acts that don't get a lot of mainstream appeal, but they
right,
just regulate them to Soul Train Awards. Even when some of the act like in the BT Awards pre-show, that dude who made that song "Boots on the Ground," which is like sweeping the whole country right now,
right,
he was only regulated pre-show. He should have
yeah,
been on the main stage. "Boots on the Ground" was like a big song right now and shit.
right. What they need, and I was telling Unc this last night. What they need is a show dedicated to like how when VH1 had hip hop honors, BT needs a show like that where they can
Oh my god,
honor. Hold up, wait, they can honor our legends and make it a legacy show for the legends, and then you incorporate some of the newer artists as well. So this is like
yeah,
the artists of the future. So that you bridge the gap with old and new all on one show. Because a lot, like I was telling Unc, a lot of those artists that we love, like a Gangstar and EPMD, they're not going to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Because
nah,
a lot of them didn't go multi-platinum, and based on their impact, if it's not NWA or like a Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul, they're not gonna make it. So you have a show where you can honor our legends instead of waiting for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to do it. That's what they need.
I miss the hip hop. See, when the hip hop honors, and I was thinking the same thing too, Try. But when the hip hop honors, man, they definitely honor not just the acts, but movies, movements, graffiti artists, and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was
Right.
so mad they discontinued that shit,
Right.
but we still got stupid ass loving hip hop and
Exactly. Why not
black
take
hip.
that shit off? Take that shit off.
Exactly.
Basketball
Ain't
wise,
nobody,
take that shit
ain't
off.
nobody watching that shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's what I'm saying. It's like the same way that BT honors like the fallen legends. They could have the show like that where they honoring Nipsey Hussle and MF Doom and artists like that, and give like make a special award for the legends because Even if we think like yo, like oh, Gangstar should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but they didn't go multi platinum. They're going off of people that had an impact and that were multi platinum. Outkast, Wu Tang Clan, Public Enemy. Those are the ones that they're looking to induct. They're not looking to induct, the people that's the only win gold. You know what I'm saying? And if you talking about artists like Gangstar and EPMD, how much of an impact did they have globally compared to NWA or Wu Tang Clan?
I feel like EPMD has a higher chance on getting to the Hall of Fame, in
You
my
think so?
opinion. And
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
let me let me explain. It might not be next year. It may not even be 2 years from now. But the reason why I
But
say it is because let me explain. I feel like EPMD, as East Coast cats, they influenced their style of rapping was so like worldwide. Like niggas might think like they were Southern rappers or West Coast rappers. The way how they use their samples too was like an early stepping stone to G Funk, if you ask me.
I get
Hell,
it.
the artists that they brought, Redman, Keith Murray, Das Effects, hell, Eric Sermon mentored Rick Ross too, Jazzy Faith.
Uh-huh.
Not a lot of people know that fact. You know what I'm saying?
I,
Now,
I,
Gangstar.
mhm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Now, Gangstar. Me personally, I want them in the Hall of Fame. In
Mhm.
my personal opinion. See, Mike cooking reminds me of the days I used to cook ribs back in the
Yeah,
day when we used to
right.
do live
A four course meal on a live stream.
shit. Yeah, but like when Gangstar. Now, me personally, I feel like they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because of the fact, like again, the boom bap production that they were using was a cornerstone to like East Coast hip hop, especially like in the '90s, and it definitely transcended up into hip hop that we use today.
Right.
DJ Premier, to many people, is like the most celebrated hip hop producer of
He
all
he'll
time.
get in. He'll get in.
You think he'll get in solo?
I think he'll get in the Rock and Roll Film as a producer because he went outside of hip hop and he did stuff with Christina Aguilera and Miley
Yeah,
Cyrus and 21 Pilots. So
yeah,
because white people love that. They love the fact that he was a versatile producer and everybody know him. But as far as the group, I think groups like Bone Thugs will get in before Gangstar.
I
I'm telling
love.
you, they going off for if you look at all the rap artists that they inducted, they had big impact and they sold records. Gangstar didn't go platinum like that. Bone
Yeah,
Thugs
but
did though.
you gotta remember, not a lot of rock groups went platinum in their heyday, and they got inducted to the Hall of Fame and shit. Like Black Sabbath. Yeah, they sold, but they weren't really
Mhm.
loved a lot by like the Rolling Stone. They got negative reaction by a lot of their
Right.
albums at that time. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
But
Green
another
Day.
thing is they don't have enough black people on that committee to vote these artists in. So when you got a person like Gene Simmons from Kiss that don't want rap artists in there, who you think they're gonna listen to first?
Man, fuck Gene Simmons. When was the last time Kiss dropped a good album? I'll wait.
I'm just saying he was bitching and complaining like he didn't want no rap artists in their Hall of Fame.
No.
So you gotta have people of color on that committee that can make a strong case for Gangstar and EPMD and UGK and the Ghetto Boys because I'm gonna tell you a lot. I see it already. Outkast, Wu Tang, Bone Thugs, they'll get in. A lot of the other groups that we love, they're not gonna get in there.
Yeah. Like I feel like if anything, I feel like groups like Salt and Pepper, De La Soul,
They,
um,
they had they had a huge impact. I think they're able to get in.
they would get in. Nas, I
Yeah,
can see
Nas, of
Nas.
course, yeah.
If any newer cat, mm,
Kendrick, Drake.
too early. Too early for them.
Drake already on his way. He already on his way there.
This might be controversial, but I see Kanye getting inducted before all of them. But
Kanye definitely got
I
to get in.
don't know. I don't know because my homeboy's been
Well, I
on
mean,
his.
despite his political views or whatever, he hasn't done nothing, no heinous crime yet to get him excluded out of there. I think Kanye is already in there. I mean, look, Kid Rock is a Trump supporter. Is Kid Rock going to be in there?
Honestly, I'd rather see Wu Tang Clan get inducted before all these motherfuckers. Could be real with you. Like I'm really being serious. But if there were any solo cats from Wu Tang to be inducted, I can see Ghost being inducted. I can see Meth
by yourself.
possibly.
By yourself.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
they're gonna induct the whole clan in there. It'll be the whole
I
clan.
feel like I feel like in the future Ghost or Raekwon, in
By
my
yourself.
opinion. Yeah.
I don't
Come
see
on.
that. I think when it comes to the clan, it'll be the whole clan they put in there.
Yeah, they're gonna put the whole clan, but years down the line. I'm just saying years down the line though.
Nicki Minaj, maybe. I don't know, cause she had a
Yeah.
run. She sold records. I don't know. They don't have enough females in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame anyway.
I don't know. She kinda on some other shit right now. I
And
don't
then they
know.
put Missy in there already, right? And Miss and right who came after Missy? Nicki.
No, but Missy worked hard. Let's
Yeah,
not let
but
Nicki
but yeah, but Missy had a run, right? But then there was a time when she had to leave because of her sickness, and
yeah.
Nicki came in right after her, and she had like a 6 7 year run. There was
Uh,
nobody out. There was no Cardi B. There was no Megan. There was no Doja Cat. It was just Nicki. Remember, there was a time when Nicki was winning the female rapper award every year at the BT Awards. There was nobody else around.
Controversial opinion. I say MC Hammer should be inducted in Hot Rock and Hall of
MC Hammer
Fame.
should be in there. He should.
You should.
Yeah, I agree.
He should.
Love him or hate him, he really brought hip hop on
Yeah.
the commercial
And
worldwide
I
map.
think at some point they will induct him, but or at least have him on the ballot.
Right. I'm gonna stay on for like 5 more minutes. 'Cause I gotta wake up at like at 7 in the morning and shit.
Ray Sean said, "I don't know about Nicki.
Um,
Nicki sold records. She had an impact on rap for females coming out now. I think she might be in it. Little Wayne, we'll see. I love a lot of people love Little Wayne too.
I feel like Weezy would get into at some point.
Weezy gonna have to wait till like he's 60 before he get in. Nah, not Vanilla Ice. Nah, he had one hit
Now,
song. They
now y'all just.
they not inducted him.
I'd rather have Tone Loc than Vanilla Ice.
Right. He had one hit record.
No, Tone had 2 hit records.
No, I'm talking about Vanilla Ice. He had one hit record. They not inducting him.
Uh,
You gotta be special. He wasn't special. Not for one record.
no, Cypress Hill. Cypress Hill should be in there.
Cypress Hill definitely, yeah. They sold records. They did a lot of major tours. They got their own documentary. They in there to me.
And they crossed over
They
hip
crossed
hop
over. Yeah.
to alternative crowd. They were
A
on
lot of rock bands fuck with them. Muggs has done a lot of remixes for rock bands and stuff. They in there.
damn, this lighting got really different here. Okay. Yeah, man. I like Digital Underground. I won't be mad at that.
I don't know.
I won't be mad at that. I mean, the group that brought Tupac on the map. I'm not
Right.
mad.
If they
Humpty.
induct them, it's because of Tupac. I think
No,
it's because of
no,
Tupac. Yes, I do.
no,
I feel like let's put them in because that was Tupac's group. Everybody knows Tupac
no.
from there.
Digital Underground was what to the West Coast, what De La Soul was to the East Coast, in my opinion.
They were good. I don't know if they had the same impact as De La though.
I feel they brought that comedic side of hip hop to the West Coast, especially the whole gangster rap, and especially influenced by the whole Parliament and Funkadelic and shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like Shock G even produced for Hella Cat even outside of hip hop, like Prince too.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else? What's that one rapper that came out? Um, what's that one rapper? I can't think right now, but Q said they broke a lot of barriers for Latin community, especially. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, you think about it. They came out before Fat Joe and Pun. You
And
know,
and we gotta throw love to Kid Frost too. Let's not
right,
forget Frost.
right. Kid Frost, Mellow Mayonnaise.
See, that's why we should have. You're right. They should have been had a Hip Hop Hall of Fame.
Yeah, they need a show for that because everybody not gonna make it in. They need like our own show so we can celebrate our own legends and not depend on Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Lighter shade of brown, yeah, them too. It was dope.
Controversial opinion. I say Ludacris should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Mhm. How much of an impact he had for Atlanta?
He had a huge impact for Atlanta.
More than Ti?
In my opinion, yes.
More than Ti, really?
More than T.I.
Mm. I take.
Remember, Luda was the first rapper on Def Jam South.
Uh-huh.
Lyrically, he held his ground and shit. Very consistent career,
Who,
disturbing the
who
peace.
sold who sold more, Ti or Luda? I think Ti sold more than him.
I want to say you're right about that, but that don't mean Luda was not that far
What
behind
what
and shit.
about what about how important was Jeezy to Atlanta hip hop?
Jeezy was also important too, especially by reintroducing the whole trap music and shit. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
He was
think none of
also
them niggas
important.
making it. I don't think none of them niggas making it. That's why we need our own show. I don't think none of them niggas making it in. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they very funny about our artists, and it's gonna take for them to make it. It's gonna take like another 20 years at least. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even got to drop shit. They just gonna have to like the line is gonna be long because some artists come before others. So when you talk about Outkast and Wu-Tang Clan and De La, they got to come before Ludacris and Ti and Cypress Hill. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yeah,
those cats will make it in before Ludacris and Ti.
I even say Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah.
If you want to count Juice Crew, Kane, m- maybe G Rap,
How,
maybe.
how much of an impact did Kane have compared to Karis and Rakim?
Well, all three of them, honestly, their impact can be equated to actually pretty much having the second trinity when it came to lyrical titans and hip hop and everything. Because if you want to count about the first hip hop trinity, you gotta count Kaz, Kumo D, and Melly Mel.
Them niggas
And
ain't
then once
making
we
it
get
in. They ain't making it in.
what?
They ain't making it
Let me
in.
let me explain. Let me explain. But then when you got the second trinity, we got KRS One, Rakim, and Kane. Honestly, I feel like out of all the motherfuckers, Kane was he was the more known one because not only was he a dope ass rapper, he wrote songs for other cats. He produced, killed. He was a dope dancer, live performer and shit like that too. He was really one of hip hop's first ghostwriters, if you even want to think about it. Is shit. To be real with
Right.
you,
I know. We know that. I'm saying
yeah.
they're very mainstream and they're looking at the artists that sold records. So when you say Grandmaster Caz and Melly Mel and
Well,
Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, I don't think they're making it in. I think they're looking at
Flash
records
and
saying
the
like,
Furious,
yo,
actually, Flash and the Furious Five were actually the first hip hop inductees in the Hall of Fame.
oh, so they made it already.
Yeah, Flash and the Furious, they were the first
Okay.
ones.
All right. See, well, you put the first ones in. Okay. That's when
The
they shut the door. They be like,
you
no, African Mabata, you're not making it. Curtis Blow, nope.
know, you know, when it comes to white people, the message is like that first hip hop track that they
Right,
always want to say, "I get it," you know, I
right, right,
get it
right.
now. The message, oh my god, it's so
You know what I mean?
powerful.
Yeah, because that was
Oh,
an important hip hop record. It's still an important record. It's a timeless record even to now. Like the things that Melly Mel was saying on that record.
it's like when a white person watches Boys in the Hood for the first time. Oh my
Mhm.
god, I never knew it was like that.
Right, right, exactly, exactly.
rest, rest in peace, Ricky.
Yikes.
Yep.
Oh lord, but yeah, man, it's like, but at the same time too, there are a lot of acts in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that might not be known why by a lot of black people, like Velvet Underground, for
Mhm.
instance. When
Yeah,
they went out
but
in
that's rock. But that's their genre though. Of course they're
nah,
gonna go for their genre first.
let me clarify. I'm just saying, like, when they first came out, they were mostly ignored by the mainstream because they were so different. But once niggas were influenced by them, they became your rock band's favorite rock band, like a cult favorite. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not as well known as like Beatles or the Who. Hell, they're not even be well known as Nirvana, but they still got inducted. So I feel
Right.
like there's still hip hop cats that might not be well known in the mainstream that can still be inducted and shit. Like I see
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes be inducted
Oh
too.
yeah, Buster, because he had a great solo career. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
You
man.
know, like I
But
mean, for the most part, they inducted like all the West Coast legends, right? So you would think Cypress Hill got to be next up from the West Coast, or Too
right,
Short. You know what I'm saying?
Too Short maybe because
Right,
you know that's why I said maybe.
right. We know he had an impact on West Coast hip hop, but again, if they're going by record sales, did he go multi platinum every album? Is he
I say
globally known?
I say Ice-T over Too Short
I
because
I think
Ice-T
Ice
did
make
go
it too,
platinum.
and Ice T's an actor. A lot of people know him for being on Law and Order and Cop Killer and all that. I think Ice T and Cypress will be next up from the West.
And Ice-T also did heavy metal too.
Right, right. He had a rock band, right?
But tonight we get even. Cop Killer, man. Come on, man. Don't fuck
Yeah.
with me. All right. But I'm gonna end this off right here, y'all, because it's about to be 12:30 and I gotta get ready to go to bed soon. But this has been a fun ass review and shit like that. Very fun ass review. I definitely got some reviews coming up very soon and everything like that too, you know what I'm saying? I know I do want to do a part two on the best hip hop album runs and shit
Right.
like that. I do want to do a part two of that.
Mhm.
I actually do plan on doing a video on. It's not a review because I've reviewed this album years ago, but it's actually going to be about Tribe Called Quest's Beats, Rhymes, and Life. I'm going to question if it's ahead of its time or unfairly hated and shit like that too.
So
And it's going to be a discussion video and shit like that
that's
because
it. That should
I
be
had
a new series for you. Ahead of its time or unfairly or what you said unfairly underrated?
I'm ahead of its time or polarizing. I'm gonna say that.
Right.
Yeah. Because I had a great discussion with this guy on Facebook, and we saw like the Beats, Rhymes, and Life getting 4 mics on the source and shit
Mhm.
like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I said, okay, that's actually better than I thought it was going to get. Because a lot of people want to shit on that album,
I don't get it.
and of course, with that production, they weren't ready for that production.
Mhm.
I said to this homeboy, if this album came out 01, maybe 02,
Mhm.
it would probably been Tribe's best album or a comeback
Mhm.
for them. But
Right.
they weren't ready for that sound yet from Tribe and
No.
shit.
They
And
wasn't ready for
of course,
consequence either.
we'll talk about Consequence. We'll
You
talk
know?
about him because I love that album, but I don't love it as much as the first three
Right.
and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's gonna be like I said, I've reviewed that album years ago. I don't feel like re-reviewing it, but it's gonna be just a grown man talk and shit like that.
Right.
I want to get on that one too.
And what's so crazy is they nominated that one for Grammy. They didn't nominate Low End Theory or Midnight Marauders.
That's the
Make
shit
it
right
make
there
sense.
too. See, that was one of the first Grammy Awards for hip hop too. You gotta
Right.
remember that. So again, and I talked about that in, I think one of my Grammy videos too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, see, it I feel like the critics love that album more than the fans. But
Right.
again, I'm gonna break some shit down, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I'm planning on reviewing Ozzy Osbourne's Blizzard of Oz album and shit like that too. The guy gotta do it for the king. Gotta do it for Oz. Even though I don't like reviewing shit after somebody dies and shit, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it.
So you've
I'll
been
do
doing this for years, so we don't wait till people die to talk about
it.
them.
Yeah. Plus, I was trying to get these Black Sabbath albums, but the stupid ass motherfucker on Amazon fucked me over and shit. So it's all good. Anything y'all want to say before we head out?
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. That Ain't Rap Podcast. Me and Rocka. We had a good one. We had a 5 hour one that every time I say I don't want to go over 2 hours. It ends up being like 3-4 hours, 5 hours now. Um, it's
I gotta put a time on If I come to y'all, I'm like, look, nigga,
Yo,
I'm gonna yeah.
I can't. And I tell him like, yo, I can't be on for long because StreamYard already gave me a notice. Like, yo, like I'm losing my minutes every time we go live for a long time. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep it down to like 2 or 3 hours. And last night was 5 hours. I'm like, we can't do that again.
Right, I be looking at y'all like, damn, y'all motherfuckers still up and shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They like to talk. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and we got some stuff coming up. So just stay tuned.
All right. What about you, Mike?
Um, I don't have anything at the moment.
I feel you. I feel you. Sometimes you gotta strategize and shit. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Like,
But yeah, man. Yeah, man. Trying to get some shit out together and stuff like that too. I just recently just dropped a CD recap video and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So definitely planning on doing some more YouTube content before the year's over. So yeah, hope y'all have a very good night, and y'all make sure y'all stream this War of the Worlds movie on
Yeah.
Prime if y'all want to support it.
Support
See y'all tomorrow.
support Ice Cube in his movie, and we're listening to what the bloggers are saying.
right.
Exactly. All right. But
All
I'll
right,
see y'all, motherfucker.
all right, Mike.
Peace.
Salute.
I